record. So before carry on, we do our opening prayer, and I ask you following thoughts, please. Beloved Master Jesus, our dear friends, spiritual benefactors, the ones that are beside us for a long, long, long time, guiding us, inspiring us with nice thoughts, so we can really organize our free will in the right pathway. Dear Lord, facing difficult times that we are having now, we ask your blessing for each one of us so we can overcome our challenges, difficulties, with the ability to serve smiling and learning the lessons that are in our agenda in this existence. Dear Master Jesus, dear spiritual benefactors, with your permission, you hand over to Stevan, and we carry on our study tonight. Bless us all, so be it. Amen. Stevan, over to you.
Okay, so thank you everyone for having me today here. And the topic today we discuss is return to Spiritist activities after COVID limitations, experience and idea exchange. So let's say we have like two parts here. One is cover the COVID, the other is sharing experiences and some ideas. And the first part, to be honest, there is no secret. It's important to say whatever I'm gonna say here. It's limited to the place, the country, or the local government where you are based. Perhaps in your country you have different rules compared to here in Ireland. So please, at the end, who owns the correct data is your local government. Okay. So saying this, we can say we have some guidelines, and the guidelines, the basic is like a full respect. We needed to be together. This is an effort from everyone, an effort from the group who is willing and okay to return. Is a joint force from the audience who will go to the Spirit Center, either because they want to have a healing or see people, listen the speech, or because they, in order to feel they are having good Spirit's presence, they need to be inside the Spirit Center. You know, unfortunately, we do have these people who thinks like that. Okay, so the basic concept. I will not read everything here, guys. I just put it here because at the end I will share the slides with you, and you have everything written. So be patient. I will not read everything. So basically, the basic thing is social distance. We need, if your Spirit Center fits, I don't know, 100 people, 50 people, bear in mind they will fit now half of it. So it means more sessions, less sessions. It's up to the group decide what they're gonna do, but they will not fit the same number of people they used to attend before the pandemic. Those who have been here in Ireland and had the opportunity, like Marina is here, Elsa was here, Charles was here, so we easily fit 100 people in a room. So now it's gonna be 25, 35, 45, no more than this. Okay, so also we need to be pay a close attention to the risk groups, which are those who with diabetes, asthma, respiratory diseases, over 60, pregnant women, and children and babies under 2 years old. So the recommendation we have is, regardless the local guidelines, it's wear face mask every single time. Here in Europe is easily, we recently purchased a public liability insurance, because with COVID cover, because we don't want someone attend our meetings and at the end say, oh, I got COVID in the Spirit Center, or my husband or my wife or my daughter went there, they got COVID there and they passed away. I wanna sue them. So we bought it. It's one of the obligations from these new premises we are renting, to have this kind of insurance. So it's a new thing on top of all the costs we have. Okay. So communication, everything must be well communicated. So sending emails, using your Facebook, using your web page, how it's gonna be. You need, returning is not say, oh, next Sunday we will have a meeting. Returning means before you say next Sunday we will have a meeting, you need to sit with your core people and say, okay, what are we gonna do? What the protocol we're gonna use? What the guidelines we're gonna follow? How we need to behave if it is happen? Well, how we're gonna need to behave if that happen? So you need to be responsible for that, because we are dealing with people. Okay, we need to follow protocols of cleaning, sanitizing, and again, my friends, we don't know what's come up when we, in any kind of business, regardless the business, when you deal with public, it means risk of someone don't like your service, risk of someone to sue you because they find something, or so it's a risk. I'm saying here in Europe we have this culture, in the US there's this culture as well. In Brazil it's more relaxed, but something you need to pay attention. And the main goal is prevention based on the healthcare protocols, which are avoid, this is difficult for hugs, kisses, it's tough. It is gonna be tough, my friends. It's gonna be very, very difficult, but we need to follow it. Okay, also I said already about the cleaning and sanitizing, so we need to have masks available, hand sanitizer available to everyone. And also one thing is we need to consider reducing the time of our talks, because it's less time people together, or perhaps you can make, like you used to fit like 50 people. You can make like 2 sessions, one or for half of people, the other session with another half people. And you instead of spend like entire hour, you can use this 30 minutes and 30 minutes, 2 sessions of 30 minutes. It's an idea, it isn't a proposal. monitoring the health of volunteers who work with you. So all the volunteers must be very aware of their own health. Everybody must be connected. And it's good to have this care about the others. We needed to make this very important for us, care about everyone is around us. We need this. And I like to bring up here question 741 from the Spirit's book, which the Spirit said, Kardec, many calamities are the consequences of man's own negligence. As he acquires knowledges and experiences, he is able to avert them. That is, to prevent them if he is able to figure out their cause. But man often aggravates his suffering through his carelessness. So every care, every attention, regardless if you think, oh, but I don't think, do it, because it's your responsibility, the other people's life as well. Then I would say this is end of part 1. I said this one very briefly because everybody I know, after 2 years watching TV, radios, internet, everybody know what we need to do. Everybody's is kind of tired of listening to the same stories. But part 2, which I want to focus, it is ideas and experiences we need to share. You know, consider having a hybrid approach. In my opinion, this hybrid approach, which is hybrid approach, we have face-to-face meetings, and also we have virtual meetings. So the virtual meetings, it's here to stay. So let's use them. We will see the benefits a little bit further in the next slide, but we need that. So if you decide to go to this hybrid approach, what do you need? We need to train your people. So not everyone is comfortable with the computer, laptop, how to deal with that, how to use Zoom, StreamYard, all the other or more professional platforms available. I don't know what's the name. We have many other. So let's do it. Let's do this training. Let's develop a nice logo, a nice virtual background. Let's develop a protocol, you know, how to approach, how to talk with them, be punctual with the time you set the meeting, you know. So this kind of training is necessary. At the same time, the training, it's high important because when we talk on the internet, when we open a Facebook or Instagram, and this is an open meeting, is not just the group you know is watching, it's perhaps the entire world. Someone in Australia, someone in Uruguay is watching you while we are here in Ireland, in Estonia, in UK. So be aware with what you're gonna say. Be aware with how you're gonna approach to some topics. That's why the person who is responsible for this virtual development must be trained and must be aware of this part. And here, the next slide is some ideas, some successful stories we can share with you. So successful case, mediumistic meetings, talks, speeches, webinars, study group, healing, gospel at home, fraternal gathering. So mainly it is everything we used to do in a spirit center we can do on a virtual, on a virtual environment. And the benefits, that is no way to measure, is low cost. It is low cost. Elsa knows how much we spend to rent a place with 6 months with 6 months notes, paying a lot of fees. Then you needed to pay the cost for sound system. Then you need to pay flight tickets for the speaker, hotel for the speaker. It's decoration. You need to charge, of course, because you have these expenses. People complaining, oh, this year the ticket is too high. The cost is too high. Oh, the Spirit Center is making money or money of this, and this should be free. So all these stories we listen, we know we don't have in a virtual environment. We don't have it. So, and at the same time, we can reach, as I said a few minutes ago, a broad audience. It's not just for those people who purchase your ticket and they will go. So you can go to everybody. At the same time, I can't say it's guaranteed more people will see this because, oh, perhaps I don't want to see the topic number 1, but I want to see the topic number 2. So that person will log in when starts the topic they want to listen. No. So at the same time, recording availability. And I'm showing you some examples here. Let me try to see how I'm gonna do this. Let me stop sharing here because I believe when I share, I put it here screen. Okay. Let me share screen, not the PowerPoint. Okay. So you can see my screen. So let's see an example of a very good example how to call an audience, and especially a youth audience.
Hello everyone. Join us in our second meeting of the International Spiritist Youth, Sembradores de Luz, at 6 p.m. on the 30th of April. Join us. See you there.
So this is an event happening right now while we're having our talk. We have this event in parallel. Able to reach broad audience. Here's an example. British, the bus used this, made this congress, and they have like 848 people watch this. And I'm pretty sure, Elsa, you can confirm, you may not have 848 people sitting in audience.
Never.
You know, you may have a little bit less, but never 848. And at the same time, wonderful people together. So you don't need to pay flight tickets to bring someone from the US, bring someone from Brazil, or no. What they need is just an internet connection, and that's it. Here we can see. Let me see. Oops. Events like this.
This latter belief, We have coined and employed the words spiritist and spiritism. These two terms reflect their origin in their fundamental meaning, and they thus have the advantage of being perfectly understandable. We will leave spiritualism to its own meaning because it's broad.
So it's again another example how you can reach more people, making the spiritism aware, spread in the world. And the appeal here I want to make to everyone is to pay close attention to our young people, our children, or the youth. And we needed to be updated. Like all these guys, they are on TikTok, on Instagram, I don't know, almost 100% of the time. And we had on our spiritual light meeting, I think 2 weeks or 3 weeks ago, I forgot the name of the lady. She was with us, and she's kind of works with youth, and she said what make their attention in TikTok and Instagram is short messages, straightforward messages by young people. And this is what we need to do. Please, in your country, let's do this. We don't need it as 2 hours talking, 1 hour talking, and everybody tired. You know, no, we need like 10 minutes, 5 minutes, no more than 15 minutes message. A comparison how this is developing, or a new topic we have today, how we can see this on spiritism perspective, spiritist perspective. I'll show you an example. It is in Spanish, so Bianca is better for you, but this is a project, Frater TV, and they are doing this. It's 3 or 4, 5 minutes, and their target, it is young people, and they explain actual topics. And put it here. So in this video, they are explaining the shooting we had in
Un
New
nuevo
York.
tiroteo se ha producido en los Estados Unidos, concretamente en el metro de Nueva York. ¿Cuántos tiroteos y masacres tienen que producirse aún en este o en otros países? Porque se han producido tiroteos en donde muchas personas perdieron la vida. Recordemos que la Constitución de este país ampara y protege el derecho de los ciudadanos a poseer y portar armas, lo que facilita todas estas situaciones de violencia y agresión.
Okay, so let me put it just a little bit. Again, you will have your. Oops. Okay, and also put your young people, if you have to work like this.
Is there life after death? Is it possible to talk to someone who has already died? Is communication with a person who has already died always possible? Join us in the next meeting of the International Spiritist Youth, Sembradores de Luz, on Saturday, April 30th, online via Zoom. We are going to talk about the immortality of the soul. It will be nice to see you all there. Teens from several countries will also participate. Register at the link below.
Again, that's the appeal. I want to finalize my short presentation, And the appeal is, let's involve the young people with us. Let's adapt those meetings, 1 hour, 2 hours talk, saying beautiful words, nice speech, like people, they go to the speaking classes in order to, we don't need this. We need simple things. 3 minutes, answer important questions that these young children, they have in their mind. And put these videos on TikTok, put this in Instagram, put this on Facebook, or even on YouTube. And let live good materials. Our experience is good, yes, it's good. But let's adapt our experience with this new era is coming. So thank you very much for your attention. And I wish we have a nice chat now and discuss the proposals and change the ideas here I present to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Stevan. Really good. And to add your comments that you made, we have here now introduced a coffee break with Kardec. The right time of a coffee break in the afternoon for European people, or happy hour, and 15 minutes only with a Genesis book. Topics, different topics, and it's good. People are really loving because they don't have to spend so much time in front of or listen 1 hour podcast. It's quick and objective. So wonderful presentation. Now is open to questions, suggestions, comments that if you have, you can now add. So we are now, how many people? 11 people here. Wow. Great. Okay, Olga?
I just want to tell that I'm very happy that I have possibility to attend online meetings. Elsa, thank you very much that you gave me Adams and Val Spirit's book. I started with them, I think 2 or 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
I think maybe 2 years ago, and now we study Medium's book. And on Saturdays, today we studied half Spirit's book, half Gospel According to Spiritism, and books of Chico Xavier. And it's so great to have opportunity participate in online, because in my country there is no possibility to study. There is no groups, and it's so great that so wonderful to have meetings online, especially when no other no other possibility. It's so great, and I think it's even better than offline, because even if it will be online, everybody has maybe some time, no time, and it takes time to go from one place to another. But online is good that from home is possible.
Wonderful.
Very good. Thank you, Olga. We have so many excellent studies group. Like every Tuesday, every Saturday now we have the mediumship study group with Guilherme, Munir, and Charles. Also, we do have Nosso Lar study group. We have here in Ireland, every Tuesday we do, every Wednesday, every Thursday we have the Spiritist study group. Is a closed group led by Tanya. At the same time, every Tuesday and every Wednesday, I do a live session, and also on Tuesday we do have our virtual healing. Is open on YouTube for everyone at 8:30 p.m. London time. So now we have choice. Now we can choose, you know.
It's so great, just time. If I have time, I participate everywhere.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Now we have Guilherme with the hands, and Bianca after Guilherme.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. I would like first to address the first part of your presentation, Stevan. I think it is a phenomenon everywhere now, people are not returning to the normal activities in the Spiritist Center. Something like 10 years ago-ish, we had a different flu. There was an endemic situation in my home country. There was H1N1. We had lots of losses. At that time, asking the spirits that we knew from years and years working together, the message was, a hospital, do not close the doors. Why you want to close the doors of the Spiritist Center? Because we were afraid, and at that time we were prepared, planning to close our doors. That was the Spirit's message from our benefactors. We did not close. We did not have any event with anyone that was part of that institution. Otherwise, it could be a surprise. But what we did, we helped people at the time. When COVID started, panic all over the world. I think everybody agree with that. At that time, we did a question again. What should we do? We have people concerned. We have people afraid. Some people from the institution want to close. Some people did not want to close. And the message from the spirits were at the time, it is time to close. Things are serious now. Plan to do things as you can, but it is time to close. And we started the online activities. We found a way not to stop entirely. We closed the doors for the public, and we try to do things with some limitations. It's fair to say that here in Europe, that I believe most of us are at the moment, we are, if not 6 months ahead of South America, we are not far from that. What we saw 6 months ago, South America is seeing now. And 3 months ago, in a mediumship meeting we had, we started talking about the subject. No message came through. In another opportunity, the benefactors came to us. What is going on? Will you not return to your activities? Will we stop the Spiritist Center activities? It's time to open. They call us to the duty. And the only thing they said, be organized, follow the government instructions regarding health and safety, regarding everything you have to do. Follow the guidelines from your government, but you start to work again. And we did. Minimum distance, mask, you name it. 3 months down the line, we have like 95% of the activities working and well, but we have a phenomenon. Part of the team from the Spiritist Center never returned. But another phenomenon is happening. People we never thought, we don't know them, where they are coming from. They are filling the chairs in the center. So we are now 95% of the activities, as I said, and we had no cases at all. During the pandemic, we lost people, but no relation whatsoever with our institution. Why I'm saying that? Let's work together with our benefactors. Let's listen to them. And here in Europe, as I said, we are 6 months ahead of South America. Why we are afraid of? We got used to the comfort to be in our homes, sit in our chairs. Don't we trust the one over there? It's time to change our attitude and move on. And as you know, I'm really an advocate for activities online because I see the results almost every day of the week. It is a way forward. And as you said, Stevan, hybrid is the future. We need to plan ahead. And almost every activity on the Spiritist Center can be done online. Almost all of them. So do we want to find an excuse not to do? What are you waiting for? Because this is the future. There is only pluses to us to do things online. I'm not saying to stop physical institutions. That's not the thing. But I'm pretty sure that we increased in numbers during the pandemic, because even people that were afraid to show up in a Spiritist center, now through lectures, studies, you name it, online, they feel more comfortable to come closer. So I agree with you. That's the way forward.
Thank you. And also, it's important, you said the name phenomena, and I would say a phenomena here. A lot of, you know, that cases in which someone is married with a local one, and always they had problem because the husband didn't accept, the wife didn't accept. No, you stay all with these Brazilians and all these things, you know. Oh, when we said, oh, we are planning to go to return physical. No, please, no, stay online because I have peace in my home. I have peace. I don't fight with my husband for months, for years, because of the Spirit Center. And he is still listen the talks. And before the pandemic, he was refusing to go to the Spirit Center. And all the time he blaming me. I spend more time with the Brazilians than with him. So this kind of phenomena I'm seeing as well. And I forgot to mention. So that's it.
And Bianca, you have a question or comments? No, my dear.
I don't have any questions. I just want to say that what Guillermo said before starting the pandemic situation, we also in the center here in Madrid, but before a few years ago, they were helping us to get a connection online to be prepared for what will come. And we also did. We just connect all the group and do the connection, but we also go to the center, to the physical center, and we are trying to connect all of us in online and prepare the. I didn't know then what will happen, but then when came all the pandemic situation, I realized that they knew what will come, and they prepare us to be connected and to not throw away all the work and to still come together and to do all the jobs that we had to do. And this was fantastic. And then I was realized that they help us a lot. This is one thing that my opinion about it's fine to meet ourselves online, but I think physical center is also needed until we can go and we can organize things there, even if there are not a lot of people in the physical center. But we hope, and I hope, especially I will speak by myself, but I hope the things will be better, and we can make the things physical also, because we need. I know that Guillermo has the opinion to do the mediumship online, and he experiment the things doing like that, but not everyone can do it. So they need the people, the mediums need the work on the mediumships and to do the work there. And this is my opinion, it's my own opinion. Not everyone is prepared to do what the Guillermo does, and I think it's better for the other one and to start in a mediumship table and to do the thing there, physical, and then if they are prepared to do it outside. And the other things that he said, Stevan, I'm totally agree that we have to center our attention in children. Actually, I have families that I'm speaking first with the fathers, trying to find a way to speak to the fathers and get attention. You have children. The times will come to have to floor their mediumnity, and you have to be prepared to help them. And I learned the fathers how to help their children, because also the fathers have not in a big mediumship, but they have also mediumship, and they could understand and they could help their children. So that's what I am doing, trying to help them and to get attention to the children, because they I have actually this week I speak with a mother, and she has 3 children, and the 2 of them, one of them believes in spirits, and the other one has also an experience, because he saw a man on the stairs, tell him he speak to the child, and he stay with the child 1 week, and then he goes away. And now the mother was afraid to tell me the things, and I said, and she has other experience with his grandma. And then when I tried to speak with her, and I said, you see, you have your mediumnity, because this is mediumnity. And I explained her, and then I told her, you have to learn to help your kids. And then there is the Spirit Center, and there they could form themselves. Then thank you very much, and this is my opinion.
Thank you, Bianca. Would you like to add something, Stevan? Or Guilherme, because she mentioned virtual online.
Yeah. Nothing will replace a face-to-face meeting. Nothing. If you can do it. But if you cannot do it, do not use this as some impediment to do the charity, because we can continue with the success doing it online. The problem we face today is that we advocate only face-to-face meetings, but we are not prepared to do. We are afraid to do. In that scenario, we need to consider what we want to do. Practice charity or not. Because as Kardec said, we need to evaluate facts and data. If we don't, we're just an opinion. And when I talk about online meetings, I have both facts and data. So everyone can have facts and data. When we started our online activities, the Spiritist benefactors, they told us, we are also doing experiments.
Yeah.
They said to us, we did experiments from our side, and they did experiments on their side. And they had limitations given to us. They said, you should not do this, you should not do that. And down the line, we see that those limitations, they are not there anymore. And we are doing a meeting exactly as we used to do face-to-face.
No, I am agree. I'm just saying that the people, when they are doing, to be prepared. It's just, I'm not having anything, because I know. I will not speak a lot, because I know I am doing my spiritual help. And this is not online, but the spirits decided to do it in the other form. But I'm agree with you. But I was in the center, and I saw mediums that had problems, and you have to be prepared and to be very unified to your guidance, because if not, you are lost. This is what I'm saying. I'm agree with you. but you have to be very prepared and very careful, because it's not easy.
Always careful. And the same problems we may have face to face, we may also have online. So it's not our environment, it's how prepared we are, how serious we are.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
Wonderful. Now Karen, raise her hand.
Thank you, Elsa, and thanks, Stevan, and everyone for sharing your experiences and steering the discussion, which I think is very important. And I'd also just like to share the positive experience we've had here in our group in Brussels. As soon as it was possible to have small meetings inside again, I think that was back in July last year, but it started slowly with really limitations and number of people per square meter. We started going back step by step to physical activities. We went back to having the mediumistic groups again, always respecting really a strict protocol of all the measures that were in place, also the number of people in the room and distances. And also at the time we went already back to offering talks in the group and healing. And while the number of people was limited, we asked people to register, so we knew we wouldn't come over a certain limit of the number of people. So that worked very well. I hope we won't face that situation anytime soon, but if it ever happens, that could be something that could work. So there was a time where only 5 or 7 people could attend, and it was then raised to 10 because our premises are not very big. That worked well, and now we don't have any limitations anymore in Belgium. So basically people do not have to register, but we have the public talks and still, ask for people wearing a mask because it's not really a big space, but that works very well. And people really appreciated that contact with real people with having legs and not only face and on screen. And it really helped also to, for everyone to feel a bit better again. What was also continued during the times that we could not go to the group was the fraternal assistance, for example, that was offered then by WhatsApp, Zoom, whatever would work for people. And now it is being offered on our premises, and if someone is not able to come, then this can still be done online. So something that we learned from COVID times is that you can be flexible depending on the situation. And also we have certain study groups, so studying of books by André Louise. We have the systematic studies of the Spiritist philosophy, and these are quite big groups, and these continue online. So it's we're keeping what has worked online and which is working better at the moment online. We're keeping that, but offer the physical activities that are possible, and also those for children. So it's good that they can come back again as well. So I think it's a good mix, and everyone will see what works best in their group. But I can only encourage that within the limitations that we may have, it's worth going back and be in touch with each other again.
Thank you, Karen.
Could I ask Karen a question? Sorry, it's Tanya.
Yes, Tanya, claro. Yes.
Karen, that's really, really great to hear. Are you, are people being asked to wear masks in the centre, or is that left open to government guidelines? Because in Ireland, it's only in healthcare settings now that people need to wear masks. And secondly, are you doing hybrid, or is it purely in person and online?
So at the moment, regarding face masks, it's not mandatory anymore according to the regulations, but our administration still asks for it because it's really a small place. So we prefer to still keep them for a while. And we ask visitors, and we have masks available if someone doesn't have one, and no one has complained so far. And we also we inform people on our website. And sorry, what was the second question? Apologies.
Are you doing hybrid, or is it purely in person or online? Are you mixing it?
At the moment, it's really only either online or in person. There was a time where we tried to transmit the talks, but that was really back last year at some stage. But the study groups, they're purely online, and the talks are only in person. So at the moment, we do not have any hybrid. If I don't overlook anything, and it works quite well that way. Also, sorry, also for the public talk, so we haven't had the situation that there would have been more people than that would fit into the room with reasonable distances. So we didn't have to make that decision.
Could I?
Oh, yeah. Guilherme, Tanya, you can finish your comments, and Guilherme after you.
Oh, sorry, Guilherme first. Sorry, apologies. I didn't mean to jump in. I couldn't see. Guilherme, please go ahead.
Okay, a quick one. We had so many people from different states, from different countries even, participating in our online studies, that when the government started to remove those guidelines and people start to say, yeah, we're going to open up again to face-to-face studies, meetings, we had people begging us not to stop the virtual meetings. So in a certain way, we're being forced to have three modalities: face-to-face, online, and hybrid. And all of them still work very well. Had no complaints, and people were willing to try. And I would recommend everyone to try three modalities because they do work. That's it.
I have a lot of people saying to not stop their virtual meetings. A lot.
Yes, because online now you can achieve people in Africa, Uganda, Finland. There's a lot, some people from Finland in our meetings Saturday morning, and sometimes Tuesdays as well, in our spiritual light. Yeah? So it's nice. But our SSL, we decided, and Guilherme and Rafa are coordinating Tuesday, the same group, same studies, and we are face-to-face as well, Thursdays. So the group only increase participation, either presential or either online. That's great. Tanya, it's your turn now, my dear.
Thank you. First of all, Stevan, sorry, apologies, I missed the beginning, but what I did get was really, really excellent, great preparation and really, really good food for thought. So thank you for putting so much into it. Wholeheartedly agreed in terms of adapting the online offer, for want of a better word, to move down the curve on time, that, you know, to get down to sort of 5, 10, 15-minute max in order to get people's attention, because talking to somebody who works in tech just a week ago, he was saying that his videos on TikTok were just under a minute and that he's noticed a drop off, and he's dropped down to 7-8 seconds, and he's seen a jump in engagement. So it's a challenge on how to distill, and it's not to dumb down things, but it's to sort of harness maybe the way that people are, the reality of where people are, particularly younger people, and use that as like a taster to tempt people into investing more time into listening to material. In terms of the going back to in person, in Ireland we had quite a high attendance at an in-person study group on Tuesdays. It'd be regularly sort of 15, 20 people. It was quite a social thing for people as well, I think, and also for, I think, it was generally quite a young group, people who were learning English, studying Spiritism. There was a social contact early in the week, and when we moved online, that dropped off very, very quickly, as I gather some moved back onto, you know, it meant people could connect back to their centres in Brazil, and I know a couple felt their English wasn't good enough, that in person they were okay in engaging and talking, but online they just wouldn't speak, and so they dropped off. So we actually really lost a lot of people, and there has been demand to move back to in person, with a big drop off on the online. And so I guess my interest is in how the management of hybrid is, because I've seen it with work where purely having hybrid presents real challenges and really requires a facilitator to be very caring and thoughtful about how they bring the online people into the discussion, you know, to be able to hear properly and to be heard, and it's like managing two quite different audiences, because the risk is those that are listening in online can get left behind, and it can create very much a two-tier experience, which could lose people. So I think sort of thinking about best practice on that, and I'm not suggesting I know what that is, but where I've seen it work well is, for example, if there's talks and then Q&A is very much moderated so that the audio and hopefully the visual is very much integrating the two audiences, so that neither feels left out. And in fact, what we're doing at work now is, in fact, rather than doing in person and online, what we're doing is hybrid, so that everybody, even if people are in the office, that everybody goes onto Teams, so that it's a level playing field, so that nobody is disadvantaged. Now, I'm not suggesting that necessarily is the way forward, that everybody is sitting in a room and looking at their screen, their phone or whatever, but I think showing flexibility and experimenting and getting feedback will be important to ensure as positive and effective an experience as possible.
Yeah, Tanya, I fully agree with you. We felt this, but one of the good approach we can have here is on our study group, we have this in person, but at the same time, we can share a link so we can have both audience, online audience and in person. So it's still close. For example, if I'm willing to go, but for some problem I cannot attend in person, I can go to the link and go online and see the same class. You know, so this is one way we can use the advantage of hybrid. Hybrid is not one or another. Could be one or another or both together.
Stevan, if I may, one of the concerns of the people going on a hybrid is that if I do hybrid, no one will show up in the Spiritist Center. That was a common thought in the beginning. We had a wonderful surprise. We had a massive number online that remain online, and we have people coming back to the institution as well. So today, we increased the number of people we are reaching with the hybrid. And the room that we had the hybrid can accommodate 70 people-ish. We have a table, a computer like we are here. The first one, of course, everybody was a bit excited. Will that work? Will not work? We see no difference when we are online, and the people over there see no difference because they are over there face-to-face with the people speaking, making the study. Likewise, for the mediumship meeting, the hybrid is the same thing. On the beginning, we were concerned, how would that work? Will that work? And it does. So we just need to try. Make ourselves comfortable to try new things. And if you have to adapt something, so be it. But try, and you see that there is no limitations with what we can do.
Imagine Kardec nowadays. Kardec here with all these guidelines using internet, etc. What Kardec could do? Probably amazing things, probably, because he is really an open mind, and in 10 years, without any online instrument, he made miracles, bring it to the light. Amazing books, amazing magazine, and every people that could think about Kardec or even read some of the Nosolar, some of André Luiz books, when it's mentioned about it, it looks like the Zoom that we have today already had in Nosolar meetings, etc. Is there. We are only follow more or less what is given to us, the technician, the technology, the science, etc. And we are using here for a good way, because Kardec, for sure, if he was here with us now, probably the involvement in the meetings and the courses was much, much, much more. I think, my humble vision. Ingo, comments, no? Or people, Sylvia, Sandra? It's open to everybody. Say is here as well with us.
Inga's very quiet today.
Sure, I can share my experience as well, but nothing really different to what you have been telling. So we here in Germany and in Munich, we have the moment we were forced to, or we were not allowed to meet anymore face to face. So we immediately started online meetings, and it worked very well. So all the people participated online. In the beginning, it was wonderful. Surprisingly, over time, the number of people who joined got less and less. I don't know why. We had times where we were not allowed to meet at all. Then we had times where we were allowed only to meet with limited persons because of the distances. And at that time, we decided not to do hybrid, but to alternate between online and face-to-face, simply because to facilitate a hybrid meeting, we didn't have the technology and we didn't have the means. And we, in our group, we always, during study groups, we always discuss heavily, right? And when you do a lot of discussion face-to-face, then it's very difficult for people who are joining online to really participate. So that's why we decided to do it alternate online and face-to-face, and we still do it that way at the moment. Gradually, the face-to-face groups are getting bigger and bigger, and more people come. And the online meetings we always record, so we have them on YouTube, and we see that people are follow, and they will watch it later whenever they have time. And we also decided we have a monthly lecture. That one we always do only online, simply because we reach much more people. And we have even one video, one lecture from a friend. He talked about Chico Xavier, where we have more than 1,000 people watching over the time. So that was really surprising, because normally it's like 20, 30, 40-ish, something like that. Right, and just maybe to add on to the mediumistic meeting, the moment we were not allowed to meet anymore face-to-face, we still continued meeting online, but only to study topics, not really to do mediumistic work. And then I consulted with you, Guillermo, and with you, Elsa, and I brought this back to our group. And at that time we discussed heavily, and there was a lot of anxiety about this topic. Should we really do it online? People are afraid, especially the mediums were afraid. And then we were allowed to meet again in the room. So we discussed this, and then we discussed this with our mentors, and they said, well, Moses had only stone. So when he needed to write, he only used stone because nothing else was available. Kardec had paper, and now you have different tools. Use the technology you have, and then it will work. And there's nothing to be afraid of, they said. You need to work on your anxiety anyway, right? But why should you fear? Really, you know all the teaching, so there is really nothing to be afraid of. So we really prepared then. We said, okay, when the next lockdown, we will start doing mediumistic work online. But since then, there was no lockdown, so we never really practiced. But we are prepared. The blueprint is there. The protocols are written. So the moment the lockdown comes, we will practice mediumistic work also online. Right. That's where we are.
Thank you. Anyone else? If someone needs the guidelines or Spiritist mediumship online, we have in 4 languages, okay? French, German, Portuguese, and English. I don't know if I have Spanish. Yeah, we have Spanish, 5 languages, okay? Yeah. And we continue working our mediumship meetings, amazing, wonderful. And the studies that was last year, we started in January 2021. We finished in February 2022, continuing doing our mediumship practice with mediums that studied last year and continuing studying with us and continuing studying the mediums book, 10:30 UK time. And we have amazing time and help a lot. You can imagine the beauty of this task. So I was always thanking Kardec, thanking André Luiz, and thanking pandemic time that helped us to go ahead with this task. And Ingo, by the way, Ingo gave a talk, of course in German, was the second day of the first Spiritist month, okay? Worldwide Spiritist month. And I was surprised, Ingo, how many people watch you and listen to your live. Do you know the number now?
I don't know the number, no.
I think more than 1,000. Ask Faye as well. That from Faye was, so people from around the world was easy because still today, the last day, watching native people from different countries, Finland, New Zealand, Australia, whatever, no, Kenya is for next year. I have live at Kenya here. And Faye was the one that was translating, reviewing the English idiom, languages. South Africa, that is African. And so it's a nice, so everything online. We can really make this big net of disseminating Spiritist teachings. So you don't need to be Spiritist to watch. Not is imposing because you have to free will, go and come, and that's it. And even people that are not coming to our Spiritist Center, they are reading the books. Dr. Mick Collins never participated in a group or study group or whatever, but he studied the book, 5 books of Allan Kardec, read all these books in these years, and he wrote a wonderful book and sent to me today, wonderful, talking about Kardec, about Spiritism, about mediumship inside the book. It's a book to be translated into German, Finnish, etc., because it's produced by a native people here in the UK. A wonderful book, because I read part of it. Okay. So, my dear people.
Maybe one more comment from my side. I think this is a wonderful example which shows that a pandemic like COVID, or that this kind of disaster is really giving a booster for us. It's really wonderful. So we all know face to face is wonderful, to see people, to touch people. and many people were really afraid, oh, should I really participate online? I don't like it. But when they started, they felt, okay, it makes sense, and they got used to it. So now we are reaching much more people. And this is really, it's really a very good lesson that these kind of, let's say, disasters or problems or pandemics are bringing the humans forward. This is wonderful. But nevertheless, how often you meet online, if you meet face to face, if you feel the vibrations face to face, when you are doing laying on of hands, if you are joining in a prayer together face to face, okay, the emotions, the sensations, the vibrations, the force is much stronger, of course. So there's nothing to replace it. But okay, both is good and wonderful.
I just want to say what that this pandemic time just open the hearts of some peoples, and more of them just wants to know more about spirituality and spiritism. And I think this kind of situation help us to be more open and more approach to God and Jesus. Even if the situation was bad, we had to stay home, we had to have a lot of restriction. And I agree with Dingo. Most of the people were even in the center that I'm going here was now with the internet and all the things that now we don't want it. And then now they don't want they actually don't want to go to the face-to-face center. So now we have to say, okay, we have to move on, open the center and have the other one because it's really, they have their own commodity and they are relaxed and they do the things from home, but we had to open the center and to do also face-to-face.
There is one thing that Ingo said that's very important, in my opinion. He asked the benefactors of his institution, his center, what they thought about something. We need to embrace this possibility, because sometimes we make our opinion without considering what they think would be best for us, would be best for the Spiritism as a whole. What you did, Ingo, was 100%. Very good.
Just to say, I put the presentation on our chat, so if you want to download it, please feel free. And thank you, everyone.
Stevan, can you put it in the WhatsApp group? Because here, how can I save this?
I can put it in the WhatsApp group, no problem. Yeah.
Okay.
And may I just add also to what Guillermo said? My view is, my feeling is that when you are in a mediumistic meeting, many people, and I think especially Brazilians, they see the benefactors as such high developed that they almost don't dare to ask any question, right? And yes, the mentors are very advanced, but on the other side, they are our friends. It's more like, yeah, very good old friends where we could, let's say, raise any kind of question. So it should be more on discussing on the same level and exchanging ideas. And still, at the end, it's our free will. We need to make our mind ourselves, but have an open discussion and value the different arguments, right? Not just blindly follow. But this dialogue, I think, is important. And let's not be afraid and don't see them as so high up that we almost shouldn't dare to ask them at all.
This is true. And this is one of the things that I also said when I was in the center, that we have to have a very close relationship with our guidance. and the high spirits, because we need them, and because we don't have to be afraid of them. So it has to be the communication to do the right things, not to ask him anytime what I should do. What you have to have your own independence, because they will not answer you for any foolish thing. But you have to have a constantly communication with your guideline.
Yes. We still have time, 13 minutes to go.
As I'm not sure if it was mentioned already, there was one more of the many positive aspects that the pandemic brought. We were also able to offer more activities for members of the group, for example, apart from the talks that have been broadcast. Something that developed naturally was during the COVID times, we all needed a bit more help and more prayer. So what we decided is to build a prayer group, or to form a prayer group that met once a day in the evenings, and whoever can join that day will join, and it doesn't take longer than 10 to 15 minutes. It's just reading together a short message and then praying together for everyone who's in need, and also for each other. And that helped many of us to keep on going through the ups and downs, and this has continued. I mean, that's happening online. It's easy to connect from home if you can. If you cannot connect today, you could connect tomorrow. And if you would have offered something like that physically, obviously not everybody would be able. Brussels is also a city that can take some time to get to the Spiritist group. So being able to have more activities, and we're also doing that together, or offering it to. We have another Spiritist group, for example, here in Brussels. So we offer our prayer groups to one another, and whoever wants to join does it. So you can develop more and offer more, and see what's suitable for the group, really, and what are the needs. And the internet really has helped us, and I think it's a good way to see what mix you want to have, and yeah, take that forward. So lots of positive experience.
I just want to say something to Stevan. I saw lately, especially, I didn't look more for this, in Romania, most of the person are making postcast, and from the postcast, choose the most important, make short videos also. And this could be also a method that we can use.
I think that's a really
Definitely.
good point. I think one of the challenges we have and opportunities is so much material was being produced online, and before it was more that kind of picking out particular pieces to put online. And the benefit of going online is obviously reaching more and being able to get more material out. But I think at some point the volume is so high that maybe triaging and curating the pieces that really that we would want to highlight to get the message across would be useful, because I think there's such a high volume that it's kind of hard for people to know where to start. So and again, sort of even taking highlights of particular talks or whatever it may be, and distilling it into shorter presentations or videos or whatever, in order to capture people's attention. So does everything that's being produced need to stay online? And is it then a question of, okay, after 2 years, you kind of go, okay, what would you want to, because, that's what Kardec did. He published the Spiritist Review, but then he took the highlights and put them into the 5 books.
Thank you, Tanya. Wise comments. Kardec is amazing. Our master in codifier.